Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. You're with the cryptolifer and Snowy. Snowy, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. The mic won't hurt you, Snowy. It's all right, baby. It's all right. It's all right. Everything's going to be fine, Snowy. Take a deep breath. Yikes. All right. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Keep switching to the wrong screen, which we'll get that fixed right away. Loves to do it. I don't know why it's doing that lately, but it is what it is. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you as we jump on into Bitcoin and get it going for the day. We also hit the biggest gainer in the room. I like to take credit where credit's due. Shout out to me and my elite team. We went over FT, which is Fracton Protocol. Someone asked us to go over it numerous times. Remember at the end of the live stream yesterday, at the end of the next day, everybody asking us all the time, right? So people were like, yo, what's going down? You know, FT, Fracton Protocol, pumping up 58% gains. We'll take a look at FT real quick for you. I got ES1 here on the mend, and you know, it can't get above resistance here. It's in a bear flag, likely to dump here on the 1 hour, not looking too shabby. I mean, not looking too good, looking shabby, actually. It's the opposite. It is looking shabby, and it, you know, not looking good. I don't like what we're seeing here. We got to make some type of crazy V-shaped recovery back up into the zone. If we do not, we are going to suffer. We're going to have some pain and anguish in the game. So you see yourself there? You see yourself there, Snowy? Let me move you out. Can I give you a little more price, a little more room there? There you go. Snowy the bird, everybody. Snowy the bird. Snowy the bird. All right, so futures, ES1 futures not looking good. Can't get above the resistance at 40,040. It's going to be an issue there. If we can't, that could make an M pattern and dump to the downside. We need a double bottom here. We need this to kind of solidify. We need the 1 hour to go sideways. When this comes down, you know what's beautiful at stochastics? I know it so well that if this comes down on the 1 hour, because the daily and the 4 hour are looking really, really fresh. If this can come down on the 1 hour and only do something like this, huge bullish sign for a move to the upside. So I'm waiting for the stochastics to reset, maybe in the middle, somewhere in here. I'm watching the 15-minute and the 1 hour on ES1, the ES mini futures, because that's going to spell either disaster or a pump, and I'm going to be able to figure it out by what happens on the 1 hour stochastics, because that's what I do. When you do the same thing over and over again, that's what happens. That's what ends up helping out. It's okay, Snowy. It's all right. I know you're going to dive. You want to leave? All right. I know when the bird wants to go. I can tell. No, you just sit with me, baby. Sit with me. It's going to be fine. I just got to, like, keep him up there for a second. Don't dive on me, Snowy. Look, come on. It's comfortable up here. Snowy's scared today. I don't know why. I can feel him. It's the Bitcoin pump. We're going to get into Bitcoin in a second. Let's take a look at Fracton Protocol. Let's show you what I liked about Fracton and why I believed it was going to pump to the upside. Well, number one, it's in a Sammy Cup and Handy to the upside. Yes, Sammy Cup and Handy. And why did we play the cup and handle? Because it's the most explosive pattern in the game. If someone told you, if you were playing football and someone gave you a play and that play always gave you the most amount of gains, you would play that play, wouldn't you? Same idea behind this. So look, you want to look at it, you know, objectively. And when you look at it, you want to see you're not swing down to swing down here. Snowy, we love you, Snowy. Don't worry. Everything's going to be fine. And we got to look maybe on the 15-minute. We're going to see it. All right, there you go. Okay. All right. Did he end the stream? He hit the keyboard, so I never know what happened. Like, you never know. We're still live. We're still live. Oh, my God. I thought maybe the bird had ended the stream. So we might have to end the birds. Like, it worked for so long, but it's not happening anymore. The bird is not loving me anymore. We don't know. Snowy's being unprofessional. You know, he's trying to take me out of the game. Someone has sent Snowy. He's actually a spy for the competitive YouTube channels, and they're trying to take me out. You know what I mean? They're just trying to take me out of the game. I need like a keyboard protector on top. You know what I mean? And then, because he just landed right on the laptop to the left. It's pretty crazy. Snowbiz charged him. Showbiz changed him. Yeah, he thought he thinks he's better than us now. I don't know what it is. Maybe he's hungry. What is it, Snowy? You don't like me anymore? I'm the only one here. So, oh, he did turn the music off too somehow. How did he do that? Snowy. Snowy. He turned our music off. You see that? Would you look at that? Would you look at that? The bird turned the music off. Can you believe it? We'll just start back fresh. Okay, we're going to look at FT Fracton Protocol. And if you remember, someone asked us about this yesterday in depth. Let's take a look here. I like to kind of go back in time because people, you know, people make a lot of claims, right? But the beautiful thing about this channel is every claim anybody makes is right here in their face, right? So huge dump now last night. Shout out to the 6,500 viewers. Thank you so much for the views. That's amazing. Unbelievable. But look, at every single show is timestamped beautifully by my team. Done professionally, done well. Let me see if we have Fracton in here. I remember it. Maybe not last night. Maybe it was Saturday night. Possibly Saturday night. Low lows. Watch it not be there. Nah, I remember it. I have a pretty good memory. I remember someone asking about it numerous times. He was like, can you do Fracton? Can you do Fracton? And I finally was like, let me go over it. Maybe it got skipped by my team. I don't know. But I remember going over Fracton Protocol. I have it written right here. Like, you see the work. And I remember the guy asking about it. We went to CoinMarketCap together. You guys remember this? Maybe it was 2 days ago? So weird. I'm skipping it now. Anyway, my team's usually pretty good about it. If you guys could find where I went over Fracton Protocol and throw me the timestamp, and then I'll move on. If possible. Anyway, regardless, there it is, drawn beautifully and drawn nicely anyway for gains. And Bitcoin looking for that VP candy. Let's take a look at BTC and let's get into the day. Also, this was also posted by my elite, so even I just want to make it clear, but I did go over that. But if you also go here, FTT, and we just Google that, you can see, oh, here it is. Look, today at 9:10 a.m. Boom, on the live given by the elite for reference. Yeah, it was given. And my elite team posted this Fracton Protocol for massive gains. Bang, bang, bang. Rainier posted this thing. Anyone else missed the FT pump? See, people were in on this. Lifer went over it on the stream today. Takes NFTs and fractionalizes them for people to buy. See? We deep dived it on the 26th. Okay, so we did it on the 26th, Friday. Fracton Protocol. So I'm just saying, we put it on the radar, we talked about it, and there you go. Bang, bang, bang for gains. Biggest gainer of the day, Fracton Protocol. So let's take a look at BTC, and let's see what's happening on the Binance chart. All right. So look at this. Would you look at this? Now, if you were sitting with me this morning, all right, I talked about the idea that we were overbought on the time frames, but I did say that this was a shoulder, this was a head, and this was a shoulder, and I drew this line, and I said if the inverted head and shoulder breaks to the upline, we're likely to get somewhere to this zone. See that? Bring it back. Yeah, right there. I actually should have moved it all the way up to the neckline, I think a little bit more, but whatever. So I was calling Bitcoin to possibly pump back to 20,300 area, and you know what? We got above the resistance right now. This is a good sign, at least for now. This is the resistance, but a candle must close now on the 4 hour above 20,300 to remain bullish. Bitcoin's got to close a candle, and it's overbought on multiple time frames. More likely, it's like a fake out. You know what I mean? But as I told you, when you come down here and you have the bullish divergence, you're likely to break to the upside off the bullish divergence. We went over this yesterday for you. How many people remembered? How many people had no idea what divergence was yesterday on the live stream? How many people? So, Michael, are you here today to keep learning like all of us are doing today? Shout out to everybody here on the live. I just move on. I keep staying positive. All right. Nice. Well, let's see if... okay. Lifer streams and we moon. Yeah. My man. Yeah, man. Anyone who speaks to me disrespectfully will be removed out of the 99 immediately. Without hands, without... Yeah, just... Anyway, let me stay positive. Let me just stay positive. But yeah, like, I don't need to be, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so let's keep it moving. So as we went over today on my update, I was talking about Bitcoin, and I was saying if Bitcoin can't get above the zone, expect more downside, right? I said, but there's a chance that the 1 hour, breaks us back to the downside and stays inside of a flag. Now and then I said or we can get a miraculous short squeeze. We'll take a look at BOOKMAP. We're going to see the short squeeze in action, and BOOKMAP could, shows you the liquidity, shows you where you're going to go. You know what I mean? All right. Your content is enough. Great info. Shout out to everybody here on the live. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you don't have a hater, then you're not doing anything good with your life. When I sat in my room and I did nothing, and I didn't live in my dreams, and I was pretty depressed, when I was super depressed, when I needed therapy, when I was down and out, when I was suffering from ADHD and, or whatever they wanted to call it, and, whatever I wanted to label myself as, going through all that, there was nobody hating on me. You know what I mean? So when I was working a night shift, wearing the same shirt every night, nobody was hating on me. You know what I mean? So the second you shine, there's always going to be somebody trying to pour water on your candle. It is what it is. And that's the beauty of life, honestly, because that's perseverance. You honestly, I say this to everybody, you cherish all your losses. And just like your losses, you cherish all your haters, because that pain, that anguish, that push, it's pushback, right? How do you get strong at the gym? You lift weights. Haters are like weights, man. They're that pushback. They're that you know what I'm saying? I will prove everybody wrong. You know what I'm saying? Michael Loretta, you could be positive and respectful and still hold people accountable. Okay, so for 3, let's hold me accountable. Let's break it down. Even though they're going to waste my time, because I'm the most accountable person I've ever met in my life. So look, you join the 99. You pay $99 a month, right? We gave you Fractal Protocol. I went over it numerous times. My elite talked about it. That was the biggest gainer of the day. Number 1, done, right? In the worst market ever. Number 2, suggested you don't even have to trade this week. This is the hardest week of trading completely. Number 3, I suggested to short the market every single day for the last 7-8 days straight. Every single day. I said if Bitcoin doesn't get up 21,800, short the market. I put out 3S tokens. We hit every single one. I put a 3S token for Ethereum 3S on a cup and handle. That hit for 50% gains. So I've been the most accountable person that I've ever met. Hold up. No. Let's get accountable, Michael Loretta. I'm going to call you out. Let's get accountable. Okay? Let's get accountable. How about you get accountable for yourself? All right? Because I've hit every single short for the last 5 days, and I never said to go long. The second I suggested to go long was yesterday when I saw the bullish divergence, and we popped off the bullish divergence. You, my friend, need to get educated. You, my friend, need to take a deep breath. You, my friend, need to become accountable for yourself. I have nothing to not be accountable for. I am here every single day laying it down. Let me move on for the rest of the day. Am I clear, Michael? Am I clear? Or are you going to run away from the stream now? Or are you going to address me like a man? Or are you going to run away from the stream? Where are you now, Michael? Where are you now? Because I'm right here, staring you down with eyes piercing like a falcon. Where are you now, my friend? Where are you now? Where are you now? Where are you now? Let's move on. Are you happy you got trolled? All right, let's move on. So Bitcoin here at rejection at 20,300. Look, why is it at 20,300? Right here, bang, bang, rejection. I had a long laid out in the 99 for everyone to see. Saw it unfold. Exactly. And you should be an elite trader. We should make you an elite so people give you, you should be a moderator, or at least, you are an elite, but you should be a moderator. You know what I mean? Just so they know. Bang. Bang. Yeah. He's probably FOMO longing green candles. Exactly. Shout out to everybody here on the live. 663 people, 234 beautiful people. Sorry, I had to address a troll. It happens. You know what I'm saying? So look, we're right here at this rejection point at 20,300. And again, that's where you would be taking profits. Why? Because look, previous resistance becomes new. And look, I had a green zone there before we even got there. Why? Because that's the next resistance, once you start making a move. It is what it is. And if you can break a POC right here, you're likely to head to the next liquidity zone. That's just how it is, and we show you this all the time. Now, there was no guarantee this was going to happen. It was highly unlikely we were going to go sideways or to the downside. I want to make that very clear. But the only way we figured this out is by using BOOKMAP. And BOOKMAP did have bigger liquidity up here, and it still does. 20,520. Look, there's so much more red than there is green. Telling you that there's more sellers up here trying, that want to sell Bitcoin at this high liquidity zone, okay? And because there's more sellers up here, you see what I mean? It's likely that the price gravitates into liquidity. It's just like a magnet. We're going to gravitate to the liquidity zone. That's what Bitcoin does. That's what you're going to see a lot. You know what I'm saying? DXY is tricky. What do you see? We're going to take a look at that. Just took profit. Smart move. Smart move. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. So I got some gains on Bitcoin short. Respect to the lifers. Still waiting for my first winning trade, but only been a lifer for a few days. Have much to learn. Isn't that a contradictory statement? I got some gains on the short. Still waiting for my first winning trade. But isn't that a winning trade if you got gains on the short? I'm confused. I don't know. SuperChat's XEC. We'll take a look at XEC. Illuminated Nothing. Anku Kutsi Butsu is in the house. Shout out to Danny. Danny, baby, Danny. So look, you see more liquidity up here than down here. Likely we kind of head into the 20,500 region. It would be really nice if we could get above 20,500. That's a big deal. That's an area that, or at least stay above it. This is all bull if we can't get a candle to close above the zone, all right? We want a candle to close the zone. We want to eventually make some type of flag or some type of, bullish movement here, or at least we're going to get to the top of the channel, and then it could be likely we just head right here back to the bottom of the channel. 1 hour time frame is very oversold. So is the 15-minute, and we're at resistance. At this point, you got to use like the 5 or some other small time frame and see if we can flag out here, because right now we moved up very, very fast. So right now, when in doubt, flag it out. My system tells me to flag out here. If we can stay on a flag, that's a bullish sign that we can continue to the upside. We might continue the short squeeze. This is how you'll find out if we get squeezed in the smaller time frames. So right now we're going to watch Bitcoin, likely pausing here at 20,300. Good time to make a swing trade profit take. But again, that's up to me, not up to you. Do whatever makes you happy. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do here should be taken as financial advice. So please get yourself a financial advisor and do your own due diligence before getting into any project, coin, or trade. All right? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Sorry I had to waste our time. Okay, 6666, unbelievable. 700 people on the live stream, 260 likes. Can I get the likes up to the watchers? I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. God bless you and yours. Hope you have a wonderful day. And honestly, trading has been tough. It's not the greatest week of trading. And it's honestly, some weeks, some days, it's not about constant gains. It's about staying in the market. It's about watching the market. It's about DCAing. Today, I bought $1,500 worth of Bitcoin on the dip, right before this huge pump. I just had, I don't know, whatever. I woke up this morning, Bitcoin, and then last night too, before I went to bed, last night before I went to bed, I'm like, you know what? Let me buy some Bitcoin. I had my phone on Coinbase. It was like, right before the live stream, I'm sitting here, bought like $1,400 worth of Bitcoin, and so bang, it is what it is, Anytime it's the fear and greed index is where it is, let me show you. Anytime the fear and greed index is where it is, it tells me it's time to get into BTC. So look, the crypto fear and greed index, 24. We're getting into the shaded region. So I'm not buying tons, but I do start opening up. SuperChat's XEC, very true. We're watching we are launching a rocket to the moon. That's pretty crazy. Very true. The whole of last week hardly made any traders. Just been studying and watching you. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't make any tons of trades. There was a few trades here and there. I was trading Bitcoin, and trading the 3S and 3L tokens around BTC. That's what you do in this type of market. When the market gets tight, it's 3L and 3S tokens all day long. That's what it is. We'll take a look at eCash, right? XEC. And you know what's funny, man? My man is on point. Whoever gave me eCash is on point. This is a lifer. So I'm going to show you what you do here. We're on the 5-minute for eCash. Consolidating very, very nicely. Very nicely. See that consolidation? First thing you're going to do is you're going to pull a Fibonacci here. All right? See what I did is I went Alt F, which is the default shortcut, right? Option F on a PC, Alt F on a Alt F on a PC, Option F on a Macintosh computer. Okay, Alt-J to make these lines too if you want to just kind of set some parameters here. But you can see that's the 6.5. Here we are between the 0.618 and the 0.65. And that's the golden pocket, okay? And that's an interesting place to be honest, for, you know. What I don't like is that's a bit of a descending triangle in my mind, you know what I'm saying? We could almost like flag it out, I guess, in a bullish flag. I'm not a fan of the pattern's not amazing, but I mean, you got this falling wedge on the RSI, you got the MACD attempting, you got falling volume with falling price, and you have the RSI wanting to make a bit of a move, and you're in the golden pocket. So eCash, I mean, the pattern's not the best. I'll be honest. It's not the greatest. Could it be doing something like this and headed back down? There's a chance here too. And completing the pattern, I'm always open-minded. Right now, it's a bit of a descending triangle. It can break up 50% of the time, but you know, most of the time, like I'd say 80% of the time, that dumps you straight down to the bottom of the pattern. I own a lifetime. I own a timeshare and freaking love it. Not financial advice here at all. You do you. We're approaching the 20,300 level, Lifer crew. Now, I thought we got above it, right? So I'm looking at this. XCC is very interesting. Shout out to the super chat. Thank you so much for jumping on into the live stream and throwing down. I appreciate it. We're above a POC too, and we're holding, but we have resistance here. We have heavy resistance here on XEC, right? eCash. So, you know, and you're a little too high on the 4 hour for me personally to get down. I don't like the market structure too, but you are at the golden pocket. So there's a few things calling my name, but you know, I'd give this a 6. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe even a 4.5. I don't even know if I'd go all the way to 5, honestly, in my humble opinion. Like, you know, with the risk going on today, you know, and honestly, this could pump in 2 seconds. Anything could happen. I'm open-minded, but like, did it do one of these fake out breakouts and it's still in this pattern too? That's something to look at. And does it break back to the upside just on the 1 hour time frame? You know, bit of a double bottom here too, but also a double top. Interesting. You know, some mixed signals here. Oversold in the 1 hour. You know, I play oversold 1 hour no matter really what, unless the 4 hour is really, really high, which it is. So it tells me to watch out. It's a love-hate relationship, but overall, we really love it, East Jordan. We bought it in Holiday Inn Club Vacations. We go to property about once a month. Lifer is nice, saying, yeah, possibly, you know. All right. FRA is on my radar. Findora on my radar. Of all the coins out there, Findora is on my radar right now. It's very tight. It's getting tight in the channel. And again, everything depends on BTC. That's what a lot of people don't realize. That's why it's better off to just trade 3L and 3S tokens until the market really gets rocking and rolling. Because until then, you want to wait and watch. You know what I mean? So right now we have this tightness of the channel. We're touching all the moving averages. They're very, very tight. The tightness is important. We're in the golden pocket. We're at support. We're oversold in the 4 hour. However, just like most of the market, the 1 hour has momentum, but is not all the way up to the upside. Yeah, my eyes have been a little irritated and red because I'm not used to the birds, right? And so birds now, there's a lot of feathers everywhere, and I think it's kind of getting to me a little bit. You know what I mean? See, someone said bird flu right off the bat. See, someone already knows, you know. He's shorting. You're funny. Yeah. So I'm watching FRA Findora. It's on my radar as well. Let's get into the world markets. Let's take a look at ES1, right, which we were already kind of jumping into, the S&P futures, right? So we kind of caught this at hello right here. Before the dump even, we showed you the head and shoulder pattern there. And it wasn't perfect, but we caught it. We caught it. And I'm completely unbiased on ES1, right? Like, it's not like it's Bitcoin. I just don't care, you know? But I know that it's related to Bitcoin, so I watch it like it's Bitcoin. And that's why I humbly look at it very, very closely. Now, did we get the short squeeze on ES1 on the 15? I mean, we did, and that was the only reason that we got a bump up for Bitcoin. Like, it followed that move. you know, so, but you can see we didn't break resistance. We're at the top of the channel, and we're likely to head to the downside. I mean, it's just most likely. You could say, okay, fine, we got above this POC. So here's your idea. I mean, can you stay above this? This is huge. You know, can you defend 40,030, you know, or 4,030 and not end up at the bottom of the pattern here? You know, likely you do end up lower because you're oversold now and you're getting high on the stochastics, high on the RSI. 15-minute is getting spent. You have a little room more on the 1 hour, which is okay. But this is a bear flag, in my humble opinion, and it's not a great pattern. It's a rising wedge bear flag. You know, it's got, you know, it's bearish confluence. This is a pattern that is bearish confluence. Unless you can break out of here and do some miraculous damage, I mean, not the best sign in the world. Also, we're about to get a death cross here oh no, let's see. Let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hour death cross is approaching. All right. It's a ways away. Maybe like, I'd say 1, 2, 3, I don't know, 10 or 12 days, 15 days, you know, somewhere between, I'd say 12 and 16 days, something like that. But then you could have the 50-day crossing the 200-day moving average, which you want that to be. You want that to be a tight move and a break up. And you want this to start making some type of channel here. But this is likely something that's starting to brew here for ES1. Okay. Sad to say, but you definitely broke the pattern. I mean, that was a rising wedge that broke to the downside. Then you bearishly retested the resistance, and then you're coming back down. All right. So now I might have blown your mind there with the TA, and then we reset you. You're like, where were we? Take a deep breath. Now we flip to the 15, and I slip you right back into the bear flag that we're in. You're like, okay, Lifer had me all over. And now you're right here at resistance, and now you know, you're like, okay, Lifer was saying, I get where Lifer's at now. He's saying we got to get above 40,044 to remain bullish, and if we don't, there's a Hail Mary bounce off 40,030, and if not, we're likely to come to the bottom of this pattern, and then we're completing a bear flag, and we could easily dump to the measured move of the bear flag, which is pretty scary, you know, and that's back all the way down to 39,033, which would deeply affect Bitcoin and pump us to the downside. However, you know, 4 hour is in the overbought, you know, but it is in the oversold region where I've seen massive dumps. Like, just because you're down here doesn't mean you always pump up. The majority of the time you do, but you could even, this is where momentumous moves do occur too. So beginners have to keep that duality in mind on the stochastics, and it's hard for them because they want things to be exactly black and white every time, right? And I was the same way. See, that's what trading is. You start trading and you're like, okay, I'm going to get an indicator to tell me exactly what to do. You know, and then it doesn't work like that. And you're like, well, then what are these other guys doing? And you're like, well, they show up every day. And I go keep telling the story about bread in the water. You throw bread in the water. An old man's throwing bread on the water. A guy walks around the corner, young guy, and he sees right when the man throws, birds come out of the sky and fly in. And they start eating the bread. And the kid's like, how did you know? Like, right when you threw the bread, the birds arrived. It's as if you knew they were coming out of the sky. And the man said, I didn't. And he's like, well, then how did you do that? He's like, well, every morning I sit here and I throw bread in the water every couple hours. He's like, sometimes the birds come, sometimes they don't. He's like, but, you know, today they came and you happen to see it. So, and that's like a good trader. You know what I mean? So you show up every day and you look at the setups. You look at your oscillators. You don't have to make a trade that day. And you see, wow, when that oscillator was here, that happened. And you mark, your subconscious will pick it up if you look at it enough. And over time, you'll bring up a lot of this stuff in your head. And then you'll have a bank of all these times, all these memories. And then your mind will crunch that as you sleep, as you think. And if you don't put a lot of other stuff in your brain, like you don't read a bunch of nonsense articles and you don't watch tons of TV, which I don't, and you come the next day and you watch more, and the next day. And now I have 5 years of watching the crypto market stored in my brain. I have years of watching markets stored in my brain. You know, 15 years of watching markets in my brain. Price action, buying, selling, you know, Toronto Stock Exchange, all the different things I did before I got here to crypto, all the ETF trading I did on the NASDAQ, all the stuff I did with gold and silver, you know, Hecla mining, oh man, you know what I'm saying? Great Panther Limited, all the fun stuff, you know what I mean? Thank you for the 355 Lifer likes. This is a great morning. Shout out to everybody here on the live stream. Thank you so much for coming on in. I greatly appreciate it. 797 people on the live stream, 357 likes. Can I get the likes up to the watchers? I would greatly greatly appreciated. Did you wake up feeling motivated today? Did you wake up feeling good? Did you wake up ready to take life by storm and just grab it and say, yes, I'm going to do everything I put my mind to today. I'm going to do everything I set my goals out to do. I'm going to push myself to the limits. I don't know my divergences well. You know what? I'm going to spend an extra hour tonight on them. I don't know my patterns well. You know what? I'm going to spend an extra hour on my patterns. You know what? I don't know support and resistance really. I'm going to go through 7 coins, and I'm going to go through all the different support and resistance on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. You know what? I don't understand how support and resistance translates from the 1 hour to the daily. You know what? I'm going to go on the daily, set support and resistance. Then I'm going to switch to the 1 hour, and I'm going to see the differences between what I call local support and resistance and the broad, big scale of bigger support and resistance on the daily. You know what? I've never really looked at the weekly. This week, I'm going to spend an hour a night back testing the weekly. I'm going to look at how I could have used the weekly in my favor. See all these questions I just went over? These are pathways to becoming a great trader. These are ideas, thoughts, and processes that will take you to the next level if you're ready, willing, and open to learn. But you must have that behavior of want. You must have the passion to go, and you must have the confidence. I talk about the 4 Ds, and I'm going to talk about them again. You must have the desire. Then you must have the dedication to continue to do it every single day. Then you must have the discipline to do it on the days you don't want to do it. Anybody can do something they love to do, all right? And anyone can be dedicated to something and something they love. Not everything, but those 2 big steps. But then there's going to be a day you wake up and you're not going to feel amazing. There's going to be a day where you're going to be like, and you're going to have that discipline to push forward every single day. Just like I do here on this channel. The channel alone should be a beacon of hope that anybody can change their lives out there, because I changed my life. And you can see through consistency and focus. And I keep talking about focus every day. I really figured it out as I stare at the camera and I look and I think about the camera focusing, And let us just take us back into the studio for a split second, because this is so important. And I did make something about this, but focus leads to success. I talk about the ideas. How does anyone become successful? Well, we all started as a baby and we needed to learn. If you put a baby in a loud, busy area where there's noises and things going all over the place and it's not calm and there's just distractions everywhere, is the baby going to learn well and progress in life? Is that baby going to be able to really put its sentences together? Probably. It's going to have a hard time. Now, if you give it a nice, calm setting, you give it a really good place to learn, you give it a positive atmosphere, focus will be just one of the things that comes out of that. That baby will have focus, it will begin to grow and learn. So I'm just taking us all back to where we all began. So how do we even get here to beginning? From the beginning, we had some type of focus at one point to put our words together, to be able to walk. So now we're at our next level. You might be a regular person that wants to learn how to trade, right? You're just, you work a 9 to 5, and you're like, you know what? I want to get out of a 9 to 5. I want to be able to, maybe donate a wing to a cancer society that because maybe I beat cancer, or maybe something happened to you in your life. You want to change the world. But you need to make some funds. You need to make some big money to do that. You want to change the world. Or maybe you don't even want to do something that big. Maybe you just want side income. You want to just change the way you're living, It's all about focus. Maybe you want to start a business. Whatever you want to do in your life, focus is going to be how you become successful. I'm telling you. So look at your life right now and say, where do I lack focus? What am I doing? Be like, what do I want to do? And be like, all right, last night I wanted to learn crypto. Be like, what did I do last night? Be like, I did watch football, didn't I? I did not watch any football yesterday. Not to be rude, I wanted to. I really did. Deep down inside, I did. Something in me wanted to, and if you did, so be it. I hope you had a good time. Maybe you deserve it. So I'm not putting down watching football. Point of the story is, though, if you knew you had something that's going to help you progress in life and you decided to do something else, that is lack of focus, period. And without focus, you're not going to become successful. The most successful people in the world have dead, pinpoint, accurate focus. They wake up for the day and they know exactly what they're going to do that day. They do that thing, they get it done, And the next day they do the same thing, they get it done. And the next day they do that same thing and they get it done. This becomes a habitual task of doing the same things over and over and over and over again. Eventually, focus becomes habit, becomes discipline, becomes part of the process. It's very, very important, though. And you can break that chain of focus very easily by letting distraction into your life, too. It's very similar to a football drive. It has to go and go and go until we hit the touchdown, At any given moment, we can give up on fourth down and have to give up the ball. Focus is a consistent game of football that never stops. You're always in the zone. You're always on move. You're always in tune. You're always going after the next move. Now, yes, you can take a moment to be with family, to be with nature, to relax. And when you play, play. And when you work, work. Focus on play when you're playing and make sure you really enjoy your focus there. If you're out in the woods, don't be staring at Bitcoin the whole time. Be out in the woods, take it in, really meditate, believe in yourself. Use the nature to rebuild who you are, to really feel the inner thoughts of where you want to go in life. I found my desires and my true hopes, because the first thing is desire that I talk about. I found my desires through focus. Let's get back into the charts. But I'm telling you right now, you could laugh all you want. People might leave the stream. I don't know what they do. More people might come to the stream. Focus is so important, and it's going to build you up. It's going to change the way you look at your life. Focus. Every single successful person uses focus to change their life. I'm telling you right now. Shout out to the 800 people on the live. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. All right. This will be the greatest week. I can feel it. Blue, blue, blue. Shout out to all of you lifers too. I am a lifer, so you can be too. Shout out to Laura Marshall with the $5. Thank you so much. £5. Thoughts on fraction? Silly or promising? I mean, I think it could be big. You never know. I mean, it went up. It's worth watching. We're going to take a look at it and keep it on the radar for a while. I actually think, I think it could be a good idea because, look, it already had high HIBAYC. You know what I'm saying? So it already had that going for it. And to me, that's a big deal. I stand with you, Laura Marshall. Bless you, mate. Shout out to Lakochi Coker. My man. Much respect to you. Read my last comment or else. Shout out to Rodney Robinson. Laying down. No, man, Tom Brady would be disappointed in you, Sam. You will watch Tom Brady and you will like it. Do you hear me? You will do it and you will like it. No. I will watch Tom Brady and like it. I am so excited when I was watching reruns of him last night before I went to bed. I'm turning red in the face. I was like, man, I was getting excited. I'm not going to say I was watching his underwear commercials where he was in his underwear either. It's so silly, right? But his wife's like, is that you, Tom? What you wearing, Tom? What is that, Tom? I was like, oh, this is ridiculous. This is too much, Tom. I'm like, come on, Tom. Brady made the Bucks watchable again. Oh. Hey. I didn't say that he did. I didn't say that, Roddy. If you see Roddy's arms, you might not want to say Great matches. Focus is key. No, focus is how you create. And everyone says it, but I mean life focus. I mean waking up every day. I mean continual focus. Like focus from when you went to bed to when you go to sleep the next day and continuing. What up, lifer? I had my bachelor party the last weekend at the Ozarks. I wasn't able to watch some of the streams, but man, I missed the channel and community. And you didn't invite me? So you didn't invite me to the bachelor party? How dare you? In the Ozarks, my favorite place to be in the world. Wow. All right, we're going to have to talk, man. Nah. Hope you had a good time, man. Hope you had a great time. Shout out to you and yours. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate your time, sharing your time with me, and that's your precious asset. You got nothing left but your time. Let's take a look at what's happening on the Dow Jones. Getting clobbered today, down 309 points. Slaughter in the city. Look, so the cup and handle played out. Got rejected by resistance. Look at that. So you got the love, and then bang to the downside. Nasty sell-off for the Dow today. Nasty sell-off. And look, it has the same shoulder, head, and shoulder that the S&P has. I mean, recession woes, Fed fears, and futures. As you can see on the screen here, that was the title of the day. And you can see, I mean, that's exactly what's happening. And that's why we're looking at ES1, the S&P futures, the Fed, right, coming out super hawkish, claiming, and now everyone's thinking they're going to be 0.75 coming in September. And now what I believe is happening, we're beginning to price in the Fed rate hike. This is what it is. Everyone's beginning to price in. People are coming back after the long summer. Everyone's ready to get in. Kids are going to go back to school, drive the kids to school, whatever you got to do, right? The wife. It's just back to regular life, right? It's not running around in the summer anymore. We're back. And just in a couple weeks, everything will be back. Then the winter's going to come. The leaves are going to fall off the trees. You're going to have to rake the leaves. Kids are going to be like, what am I going to be for Halloween? Next thing you know, it's Thanksgiving. Next thing you know, it's Christmas. People are throwing up at the company parties, right? That's why I stopped drinking. Someone always gets fired and says something they shouldn't. Or they, they hit on an employee that they shouldn't. Something happens at these company parties. It's always ridiculous. Who knows? Put a thumbs up if you know what I'm talking about. And so, and hopefully nothing happens this year. Hopefully it's the greatest year on earth and no one does anything silly at those parties. But something always happens. But anyway, that's just a year, right? Then we have, and look at all these reasons to drink alcohol. They force alcohol on you all summer long, really, right? Then Labor Day weekend, gotta have a beer, right? Then they say Thanksgiving, don't you have wine with your family? Then Christmas, it's champagne and wine. Oh, then okay, again, then it's New Year's, time to drink again. Then it's your birthday, right? Oh, you go get it. I swear, and that's why I don't drink alcohol. They force it on you on almost every single occasion, and it's very strange. It's like, why is alcohol forced on us at all times? I think it dulls the brain. I think it keeps you from achieving your goals. And if you love it, you love it. I'm sorry. If you like a glass of wine, I'm not putting you down. Do whatever you want. Like, I don't want to judge anybody. I think that alcohol will get in the way of your trading. I think there's no need of it, personally. All right. And lifestyle-wise, you just need water. Drink as much water as you can, whenever you can, out of a cryptolifer mug. You know what I mean? That's it. And I know I'm preachy a little bit, but I'm just talking sense, If you're drinking all the time, you're not going to be the best trader. Just not going to happen. Shoulder, head, and shoulders. Sorry for that burp there. Apologize. It kind of wasn't even a burp. It was like an air bubble that just kind of did its own thing. I didn't even really feel it till it happened. No alcohol for me. What about honestly, what people do in their spare time with natural herbs, to me, is up to them. Honestly, you know what I mean? If you use it medicinally, I think, whatever you do medicinally for whatever you want to do, you do. But you know what I'm saying? I don't judge anybody for what they do. If you drink, you drink. It is what I don't want to judge anyone. If you drink, you drink. It is what it is. I just say I personally think it's horrible for the organs, horrible for the liver, horrible for most of the body. Deteriorates the body fast and furiously. You know what I'm saying? It's not fun. All right. So the Dow Jones getting beat to the ground, but it's still, look. Let's break down the bigger picture. We had a falling wedge that broke to the upside. Okay? Look, I'm going to hide my group, and we're going to look at this in a second. No, because I'm going to reassess the Dow. A lot of people might be looking at the stock market. They want to know what's going on. I'm just going to give my lifer special sauce in the Dow. This also helps people who think that all we do is crypto and that we can't assess the market. And if you come to my trading school and you go to class like I teach every single Tuesday from 3 to 5. This week it is Wednesday from 3 to 5 because I'll be traveling on Tuesday. But so Wednesday from 3 to 5 Eastern Standard Time, which gives you an extra day to jump on in, which I think is going to be great. We also taught on Saturday. I go over just, all the stuff that I'm looking at now, but more in depth in a slow manner. I give you a PowerPoint to follow. You're going to get that to take home. You're going to get two sheets two reference sheets that let you look at divergences and some other things. I'm also going to teach you some things that many people will never teach you or make you teach you way deeper into class. I'm going to give you some homework and some special sauce, and then I'm going to ask you to start posting charts and getting into the learning library. And if that is what you want, that's what you desire, you will change your life. I did it. I was in a trading group. I followed along exactly as some of my best students have. They've changed their life, so I know you can change your life too. So jump on into the class today if you want. Email cryptolifers to sign up or hit the link below, and we take it automated right in, And I get rid of the banner now. All right. Sam, now it's time to get rid of the banner. Cryptolifer Academy, Cryptolifer University, jump on in. All right. School of Hard Chains. School of Blockchains, I mean, honestly, to me, this looked more right, and we fell out of it. I'm attempting to include this into a flag, but, it would be like this broadening. There's nothing else you can do here, right? And these are patterns, but it's ugly. And to me, honestly, a lot of times it's easier for me just to be like, you know what, we broke that pattern. We got to either get back in, So to me, the deep dive out is just like the deep dive in. Can we invert a head and shoulder out of this, And you're very oversold in the 1 hour. So I am expecting a bit of a bounce for the Dow Jones today after this melee of a sell-off. Massive Monday sell-off, And to me, I think it was the marination of the Woodstock meeting over the weekend. You know what I mean? The market's not having a couple days to truly react. It got pent up during the weekend, and you got the sell-off. Also, just, I don't even really care about the news in general. to me, show me the charts and I'll show you the news. Your 1 hour is oversold and the stochastics are RSI. So when the stochastics are high and you don't make a previous high, you can kiss goodbye. So look, here was your previous high on the 1 hour time frame, right here. The stochastics came down. You had your chance to push back up. They should have come up, and then they could have made an M pattern even, but they didn't even make the M. They made the lower low. You see, which is even worse than an M. You know, and then you had resistance here that you just could not get above. So you don't have to know anything about the news. All you have to know is how to play stochastics RSI, and they were telling you that it wasn't looking good, you know. Now we see some divergence playing out though, which is interesting, and we're oversold, so we're expecting some type of bounce. How strong is the question? So far, that's a swing to the upside, that's a swing to the downside. That's bullish divergence, all right? Bullish divergence. All right. Shout out to RX Max. Wow. With the $5.555. How's Hex looking now? Think it has bottomed. Tay on the DXY, please. We want to look at the DXY every day. Let's take a look at Hex for my man. Shout out to you, my man. Thank you so much for the $5.55 super chat. Unbelievable. You're the man, dude. Much respect to you and yours. That's so nice. And honestly, wait. Alert box. Yeah, that's got to get turned back on. I got it now. So sorry. I feel like I used to, yeah, the alert box should be playing. Comes across on the screen there. Thank you for dropping some coins in my cup. I appreciate that. I listen to a lot of crypto channels. This guy over here, he's the best by far. Always on point, always here for his people, always positive. My guy. Bless you and your family. Shout out to Adventurous Angler. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I hope you're getting some good fish out there angling, doing your thing, man. The Adventurous Angler doing his thing, man. Fishing is awesome. Thank you so much for the $9.99. You're the man, dude. I only use alcohol for medicinal purposes. I get sick of being sober. My man. Snowy turned the alert off. LOL. Snowy might have, actually. Grappa. Oh, Gina Bombina. What are you, Albanian with the grappa? My first girlfriend in New York was Albanian, and she wasn't a grappa. What do they call it? Raki. Raki and grappa, same thing, though. Grappa is Serbian, no? My sister's boyfriend drinks the grappa. He's Serbian. Raki, they call it the raki, man. That stuff is like, it smells like gasoline, you know. It's all good. John speaks. We have people in recovery, etc. Yeah. 4 big tray for me and your confirmation. Yeah. Let's take a look at Hex for my man for the $50. $5.55 and 55 cents. It was unreal. Thank you so much for the love, man. I appreciate you for jumping on into the live. And everybody, we have 853 people on the live stream, 475 likes. Can I get the likes up to the watchers? I would humbly appreciate it. Thank you so much. $96 in chat revenue. You people are amazing. You bought me lunch. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I am starving right now, too. I can't wait to eat. I am on vacation with my family in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. All right? I'm on vacation with my family in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. It's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely stunningly gorgeous. And yeah, it's just been a blast. And we leave tomorrow. All right, so don't worry. Don't worry. We'll be back in the home studio, but we still bring you a beautiful show. I don't take a day off even when I go somewhere. You wouldn't believe what my studio looks like. I'll show you guys. Everyone in my back end knows. If you're part of my group, you can see me. I post like setups, things that I'm doing, you know, time lapses of how we're setting up, what it looks like setting up, just stuff like that. You know what I mean? I just love doing what I do. I love each and every one of you. I'm passionate. This is the dream come true to be able to run around with cameras. And I used to love cameras, and I was a filmmaker. You know, I went to school for film. So a lot of people realize too, like I got into crypto, and crypto brought me back. Like I found a passion that I loved, and it brought me back to my old passion, and or the passion that I always had too, which was to be in film, to be in TV, to change the world with the video format. And so somehow, you know, I went to school for film. A lot of people don't realize I worked for David Letterman. I was the assistant editor on his show called If My Next Guest Needs No Introduction. And I worked on some of his biggest shows, you know. I worked on his Kanye West, you know, and I signed NDAs. I told nobody what happened. I didn't, you know, I never let it out the bag. And I waited for the show to come out, and I would work, you know, but I would know all the back end footage, and I basically chopped up all the footage. And I just, you know, I had passion for the video format, and for crypto to bring that passion back to my life too, to me is godsend. To me, that has to be Is that a coincidence? No. And it's just the passion for life, the passion to be here, the passion to change your life, the passion to change my life. You're changing my life when you show up every day. That's what everyone doesn't realize. Everyone's like, oh, Sam, thank you so much. I read these testimonials. They're strong. They blow my mind. They're really strong, and they're amazing, and they hit me in the heart of my heart. They really do. Honestly, I have left a few testimonies. The amount of raw encouragement you throw at your lifers and unlifers is unreal. The only real encouraging person I know right now, Sam. I love you from man to man. You are a real warrior for your people and a huge encouragement. Your messages of encouragement mean more than you will ever know. And Rodney, just friends of mine hit me up some days and they're like, you know what, I'm feeling down, and I watch your live stream. I hear a message in the Discord, and you know what? I realize I have so much more to live for, man. And he said, you're changing so many people's lives by being positive every single day. And you changed my lives, every one of you that shows up. So look, back to the Dow, and I'm sorry to get there. It is what it is. Shout out to everybody here on the live, though. I appreciate you. 500 likes. Let's keep the likes going. If you guys get the likes up to 600, 700, 800, we're going to get to that 1,000 marker again. We're only 150 away from the 1,000. And look, we're doing this little dip. That's a bit of a cup and handle. That could blast to the upside. So show me the chart, and then I'll show you the news. We're dipping. There's a chance. We're flipping. There's a chance we could flip to the upside here and get some major gains. All right. Let's take a look at Hex for my man. Shout out to RH Max. Shout out to RH Max for the $55.55. How's Hex looking right now? Think it's bottomed. Let's take a look at that for my man. Thank you so much for jumping on into the live stream. Let's take a look at Hex USDC on Uniswap. I think that's the best place to look at it. So we had this rising wedge. Rising wedges break down 68% of the time. They usually go to the beginning of the wedge, and that's exactly what Hex did. However, it's trying to double bottom, double bottom, right? The double bottom for Hex. Let's take a look at what else we got going here. So look, I got Hex drawn in a giant fib, right? Almost look at it on the weekly chart. I have to say it didn't bottom because the Stokes are a little too high for it to bottom. Like when they bottom, the Stokes usually have to bottom out. So looking closer here, yikes. You have to remember, too, there's a lot of people that have staked long enough and may begin to sell off, Also, I have nothing against Richard Hart. I have nothing for Richard Hart. I'm in the middle. I did sacrifice for Pulse Chain. I think he's interesting. I think he's a smart dude that definitely got himself where he has to be. So he's an independent entrepreneur, But the thing is, nobody ever knows. You never know at the end of the day. You never know. I'm telling you right now, my dad was an iron worker. My mom was a school teacher. I came from hardworking middle-class people. But, what if one of my best friends hit the lottery and just threw me, $2 million? That never happened, I know. But no one will ever know, you know what I mean? And that's why you should never compare yourself to anybody. Because no matter how much you think you know about them, you are never going to know the entire story. You hope... that's not true. You hope someone's so upfront and transparent that you do know everything. Because I know I'm that way, and I've seen other people that are that way. So I'll take that back. I believe there are people that I do know are 100%. Because you could just tell. There has to be some 100% people. But the point of the story is when you're growing up, and you're looking at people, and you're looking at family, friends, and people around you, and you're like, oh, but this guy has this, and these people have that. Or if you're a girl, and you're like, well, but she has this guy, and she does this, or whatever you're comparing your lives to. Just remember, you never really truly know. So if you don't know, you're just going to beat yourself up, Richard Hart is twerking right now. You're funny. My son's parents are also iron workers and a teacher. LOL. Wild. You're funny. There you go, man. After I catch up playing the stream at 1.5x, I wonder why Sam is talking so slow. There is something up with RH. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I want Mary Brown's Big Mary add sidekick sauce. Interesting. SuperChat's Hex. So, Hex is in this beautiful falling wedge. 68% chance it breaks to the upside. But look at that weekly. Just very overbought. Suggests that we may come down lower. And that's the same thing. Bitcoin is in a similar situation here. So if Bitcoin goes to 10K, Hex is going lower. Can you handle these lows? Are you ready to buy up the lows of the... These are going to... there is going to be a bottoming period where it's going to be the greatest prices on earth, and whoever gets in, whoever doesn't. And that's why I come every day. That's another thing about this channel. I talk about this every day, and people don't realize the basis of it. And I'm going to just show you something that's very interesting. I'm just going to take a blank screen like this was a whiteboard. I'm going to stop the music for a second because I just want to get really serious. So look, say you were on a river, all right? And the bottom floats by, okay? Are you with me? You're sitting on the side of a river and you're watching. Your two eyeballs are watching, all right? And the bottom is this little toy boat that's going to go by. And it's not that big, and the river's pretty big, so it's going to be like this kind of little toy boat, and it's going to float by. Now, you might miss it, right? Because it's so small, and you might not check on it. So if you come one day, and the next, and then you go for a week, or then you come every other day, or say you just kind of, you don't have a thorough process either. Like, you do come for the day, but you just do a little bit here, and like a little, a little watching, and then you fall asleep a lot. So I talk about this kind of like YouTube, right? And very similar to TA. So most of the people you're going to watch on YouTube are like going to make one video a day, like, and they're going to go over Bitcoin analysis. Like I do on Saturday morning. I spend like a nice 10 to 15 minutes and I go over Bitcoin. Or they're going to give you some news updates, or they're going to talk about what they think or what they believe, right? But then like you're going to watch a channel that does TA every day at the same time and then updates you every 2 to 3 hours in a Discord, right? Because this person is always watching the stream. And so this person is going to see the bottom when the bottom comes. And so my point is, because of our consistency on this channel, and may God keep my consistency going. Like, may God bless it. Like, yesterday we were in the Airbnb. I'll be honest, we locked the front door that we didn't have a key to. And, like, one had a code, one had a lock, and we couldn't get back in. And it was only 5:30. But there was a scare in me that I couldn't get back in, and I was going to miss the 8 o'clock show. And I said to my wife, I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go to a restaurant. We're going to take a deep breath, and everything's going to be fine. And then I said to my wife, I said, how in gosh name have I gone these 500 and some odd, 80 days straight without taking a day off? I'm like, how is one thing, I was like, how has there haven't been a power outage? Now I'm, I was like, how have I always, and I said, it's fascinating to me that it's a miracle. It's a miracle. And so I truly believe it's like, it's an act of God that I don't miss a day. I've been doing this for 500 since February of 2021 area. We have gone and done the weekly live streams and a stream every single day. So when the bottom comes, we're going to catch it. I just want to make that clear. When the bottom comes, we're going to catch it because we're going to be here. I'm going to be doing it. It might happen in the middle of the night. I might be 5 hours late, you know what I mean, because I was sleeping, and that's the only thing. But I'll still have an analysis that I did at like 12 at night before I went to bed, and then I wake back up and pick right back up where I left off. And there's people in my stream that know what I'm talking about in my group. And they're going to be up because they're in South Africa and different parts of the world, right? So when the bottom's in, we're going to know it because we don't take days off. And honestly, no one's going to know when the bottom's in, but we're going to be there. And we're basically, there's the highest likelihood of any channel on YouTube that this is the one that's going to show you when the bottom hits. And we're going to take advantage of when the bottom hits because of our consistency, right? Let's look at the DXY and break it down. Shout out to everybody here on the live stream. I greatly, greatly appreciate each and every one of you for being here. All right. Let me bring down that music. So when you don't know, when the world is, and so that's how you create, that's because nobody knows what's going on in the world, right? Everyone is in this like, because no one knows what the next day brings, right? So there's a lot of fear and people live in fear and they're unable to move. And when you live in fear, you're unable to move. Exactly. It's fake emotions acting real. You're stuck. Okay. We don't do that here on this channel. We're ready to rock and roll every single day, So look, we showed you this bearish divergence here on the daily time frame. That's kicking in so far right here on the dollar index. And this should start to drop. That's a swing up, swing up. That's a swing down, right? And then I also showed you on the 1 hour time frame, we also saw this bearish divergence because look, this swings to the downside here. But this was swinging to the upside here. So we had double divergence. We had double bearish divvy, which tells me that we could, we're likely to kind of make a bit of a dump here. And this is a bit of a double topping as well. That made me think of ice cream. Now I'm hungry. So look, we have a double top here and a double top there. Who wants double toppings on their ice cream, right? So look, here's a top, and here's a top on the dollar index. So we need this to stay like this. We cannot see the 109 area. We don't want to see a break to the upside. Let's take a look at the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour does want to push to the upside. So look, you're in a flag right now, right? And You know, a scalp is in order for the dollar index for sure to pump to the upside here. However, it just needs to make a double top and not get above the zone. So we're going to watch this closely. Dollar index today, but it looks like Bitcoin could struggle. And we may see a little more downside for Bitcoin if the dollar index comes up here. So we want to see just a light push up, not too heavy. But this tells me that we might just be channeling up, down, and make our move out of this. You know. Also want to look. I'm going to look at another chart and just kind of look at what I'm seeing here. I like the freestyle. But that daily pushing down on you, it could even flip up again. But look, a double top on the daily and a double top on the bigger idea. So that's good for us so far for BTC. Okay. Then we're going to pull out our trick. You know what I'm going to do? We're going to pull out our double trick here and we're going to double up. And we're going to really get down to brass tacks. Now remember, I've been talking about BRISE for a while now. BRISE is hot. And I believe if anything's going to fly, it's going to be BRISE. Look at this. Now it is getting a little extended on the 4-hour time frame, but that doesn't mean it can't just keep going sideways through the zone. This is BitGert, and people are loving it. It's starting to move more, right? So if I'm correct, this is BitGert. Yeah, BRISE. Smart idea, smart name. I would keep BRISE on the radar, right? Straight up. Like, there's just no reason not to continue to watch BRISE. Look what a beautiful channel that is making. And it could flip there on the daily time frame. I like what I'm seeing. The 1 hour is going up and down and getting tight with the moving averages. BRISE, and anything could happen. This could dump all the way to the downside at any given moment in time, right? You have to know that. But BRISE is on my radar. You know, my spidey senses are sniffing a possible move here for BRISE. Just like when I saw Apollo, you know what I mean? And Apollo eventually did give us gains, did it not, right? So patient gains too in this market. You got to be easy. But BRISE on my radar. I like what I'm seeing. Stops below any one of these given support or resistance limits. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. This is just a cool way to draw. I'm just showing you. This is what's called basically an ascending triangle. It's kind of a rising wedge, but to me, no, ascending triangle. I'm going to flatten it, yeah. And likelihood that it could break to the upside because of kind of the product too. BRISE, you know, the fundamental analysis is there. The technical analysis is there. The daily has some legs. 4 hours getting to the overbought region, you know, it'd be a lot lovelier if it was down, and that tells me we could see a massive dump. So be careful. You know, you are not able to get above resistance, which you have here. So anything could happen. This could easily dump to the downside at any moment. Shoulder, head, and a shoulder. So there's a chance this does dump on you. Be careful. But it's just starting to show some signs of life. So BRISE is on the radar, but there's two sides to every coin, right? There's two sides to every story. And this is a tough week to trade. I mean, think about it. I even saw some threats of possible nuclear issues again, you know, the other night. Whenever I see that, I buy BTC. You know, whenever I see anything like that, you got the Taiwan, you got China, you got a lot of stuff going on that's affecting world economic markets, you know what I'm saying? And you also got the minutes, Fed meetings coming on. You got Fed coming up. Fed's going to raise that basis point. They are. Highly likelihood they're going to raise the basis point, you know. It's just highly likely. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in, you know. Yeah, so the Federal Reserve, man. Yeah, we got to watch it. We got to watch it. I believe we could go up 0.75. So. Okay, moving forward. So what I'm about to do here is I'm splitting screens, all right? And I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. So look, the dollar index can't go any higher than this. It needs to dump. We're going to see what the 1 hour does and make sure the 1 hour just kind of flips and follies around and doesn't do too much. We really don't want to see the 4 hour candle closing above 109.47. You see that, we're going to be in some serious trouble. Okay? So that's something that we must be careful. All right? So I just want to leave that there. So now, like, we can close the book on the dollar index. You know exactly what levels to watch, exactly what you need to see. You could redraw this and rebuild this just like this. This double top must play out on the 4 hour and the 1 hour and the daily time frame, you know. And that brings me to US Tether dominance, okay? So I'm going to look at Tether dominance on the left. I'm going to look at Bitcoin dominance on the right. Now, if you remember correctly, if we looked at this back on the 4-hour time frame, before Bitcoin made its major dump, right? And it's another reason why we went short. Remember, if you remember correctly? Does everyone remember here? I don't know, but we'll find out. So look, this wanted to pump to the upside, right? Right around here. Now, if this wants to pump and Bitcoin dominance wants to dump, then it's usually you're in for some trouble, right? Or if Bitcoin dominance wants to pump and this wants to pump, you're in for some trouble. What you want, right, is this to pump while this dumps. That means people are selling off into them. But you don't want this to pump while this pumps, because that means it's trouble, right? So the last time we looked at it, we were right here. And look, we got the pump on dominance and the pump on tether. And that's how we knew that Bitcoin was likely to dump on you. And honestly, now we have the opposite, which is great. Not great, actually. We actually have like, this is more altcoin now. So now you have this. You have dominance wanting to dump on the 4-hour, right? Which is great. And you have tether wanting to pump. Actually, that's not good. That's actually even worse. You know what I'm saying? So you have tether dominance wanting to make a move back to the upside, while you have Bitcoin dominance wanting to make a move to the downside. All right. And then what you do, you're just like, well, what does that mean? Well, you backtest that now. And how do you backtest that? You add a third party to the situation. All right. That party is Bitcoin. I'm teaching you something now. Stay with me. And I do this like once a week, but you know what? I don't mind doing it all the time and just talking about it over and over again. So we go to the all-time history index. And what we want to do is we want to look at Bitcoin, right? And we want to look at the scenario. We want to look when Bitcoin dumped, right? Each time. So, and we want to look at both of these indicators. We want to look at Bitcoin dominance and tether dominance both times Bitcoin dumped and pumped. So Bitcoin dumped drastically here. And what did we see? We saw right here, right? We saw Bitcoin getting oversold. But once it was oversold here and starting to drop, see that? We also saw tether dominance beginning to drop, right? And Bitcoin dominance. I mean, we saw the whole market taking a dump, which is interesting, right? But the idea is this. Look, if we open this up, tether dominance then begins to pump back to the upside, right? Right here. And when tether dominance starts to pump, like Bitcoin struggles. You see this? And Bitcoin starts to dump, tether dominance starts to pump. And Bitcoin dominance pumps. And people don't understand this because Bitcoin dominance pumps for two reasons. It pumps when the whole market dumps, and it pumps when just Bitcoin dumps and people want to rush into altcoins. It also pumps when Bitcoin dumps. Why is that? Because it stops people out of BTC pairs. Everyone's who's trading a BTC pair, they get stopped out. And so dominance for Bitcoin goes up. Okay? So Bitcoin's dumping. So what you don't want to see is you don't want to see tether dominance moving up with dominance moving up together. When that happens, it's not a good sign. It's likely that Bitcoin's going to take a dump. You get it? So I'm teaching you something. So when you juxtapose tether dominance with Bitcoin dominance, you don't want to see them about to pump together. All right? You want to see them offset. All right? Now let's go find when now they're offset, as you can clearly see. Now, however it happens, right? They were both at the bottom here. This made it move up, but this one stayed up as fast as that one moved down, right? So here, now we want to look here, and we want to see if we could find this again. So we want to see when was dominance high, right here, okay? But tether dominance was up there again. So you want to keep looking at low tether dominance, and this isn't easy. This is hard work because not everyone's going to do this. You see what I'm saying? Here we have low and some high points. Here we got low and some high points. And I keep scanning, and I keep scanning. So here, dominance was high, but tether was low right here. You see it? So we found it. It's right near this blue line. And now we're going to look for Bitcoin at that same area, which is right here. Okay? And Bitcoin was also oversold on the 4-hour. And what happened? As dominance dropped, right? As dominance dropped. Let's see here. Yeah, right here. So as dominance began to drop, Bitcoin dominance on the stochastics began to drop. Okay. See this? And Bitcoin dominance began to drop. Now, as Bitcoin dominance dropped, isn't this crazy? Bitcoin was pumping. Isn't that interesting? Because the whole market was pumping, and people were basically jumping into Bitcoin and into altcoins. So this is interesting here. So we want to see this anomaly again. So look, Bitcoin's pumping up to the upside here. All right. But see, dominance should be pumping up with Bitcoin, and it did a little bit here. But its general theme went down. As you can see, it generally was a divergence. Dominance was dropping while Bitcoin was pumping to the upside. But so was Tether dominance. You see what I'm saying? So people were rushing out of Tether to get into altcoins and Bitcoin, but they were buying more altcoins than Bitcoin. It's interesting at that moment in July. That's why we had a little bit of an alt. Like the alts were kind of pumping the last 2-3, like in July, late July into August. It was kind of a frenzy. Like there was money all over the place. ETH had a pretty big move, and I believe that was the priced in merge for Ethereum. You know what I mean? So this is interesting. So now we want to go to where we are now. All right. And if you're still with me, you have like such focus. It's crazy. If you're still with me, you have an insane focus, you know, and forgive me for doing this so in depth. Okay. And it's not easy. So now look, we have Bitcoin. Hold on one second. Something's not right. Right? Hold on. No, okay. Yeah, that's right. Wow. I'm just surprised that the 4R got so much legs the way it did, you know. Not that amazing. Like we broke out, but it's not that amazing, you know. Still at that heavy resistance at 20,300. And we're going to break down Bitcoin in depth. I still haven't done my like deep Bitcoin analysis, you know. But so like you can clearly see that looks like we're going to have a pullback. Why is that, right? Well, your dominance wants to come back up here. And you might get a little more push up, right? But then something like that it wants to happen. And then dominance comes up, Bitcoin dominance drops, and Bitcoin drops. You see? By using these three indicators together, you can really figure out where the market's going to go. Now, if you have to sit here and backtest for like 4 to 5 hours, write a bunch of stuff down, and you'll be a master at Bitcoin. Like, I just gave you my special sauce. I probably should never have done that. But I'm hoping most people won't sit and do the hours of focus that I did. So even though they have the special sauce, maybe they won't do it all. But I did just give away like key insights to how to trade the Bitcoin market, you know. So you could just do it yourself and throw me in the garbage, you know what I mean? No, but maybe you like me so much, you'll be like, you know what? He taught it to me, so I'll come back every day. You know what I mean? And I'd be humbled by that. So I want to stay humble every day. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. And I thank you all and commend you all for being amazing people. So let's break down what happened here on the live stream. So we had a huge Bitcoin pump. Amazing, right? And we went all the way to a high of 20,388. But we got rejected by my green line. You see that? And we weren't able to hold. And you can see that there was also a high volume node sticking out here that we weren't able to get above. Look, that's a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. I never thought about that. That's interesting, right? And that's the shoulder, head, and the shoulder there, because that's just the side volume of the same. It's just really weird. You can flip that into, that's nuts. I never even thought about that. That's the first time I ever did anything like that in my head. Anyway, need I digress? We'll have fun at another time. Keep hitting that like button, everybody, if you can. If you like what you see, just keep hitting your like button. If you like what you hear, just keep hitting the like button. If you like the technical analysis that you're learning, hitting the like button. So if you like all three things, the triple entendre. Shout out to my beautiful wife and baby. I love you all. And these are the times of my life. 12 years from now, I'm going to be a 50-year-old man. And I'm going to be thinking about when I had kids and I was on vacation with my family. And these are going to be the times. These are going to be the times, you know. This is all I have left in my life. You must live in the present moment, everybody. You must live in the present moment at any single moment in time. The more you live in the present, the more you will remember your life and really cherish every moment. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about what you said yesterday. Don't worry about who you said it to. learn from what your mistakes and move on. It is what it is. You know, there's nothing else you can do, you know. That's what Twitter's for, you know. Shout out to everybody here on the live stream. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. I guess some people use Twitter for therapy, apparently, you know. I can see why now, you know what I mean? So look, we're forming a little bit of a flag here on the 15-minute, attempting to flip back to the upside. Can Bitcoin get some legs here and make a move? Let's take a look at the 7-minute time frame. It's possible. 7-minute wants to bend too and showing some signs of life here for BTC. So we'll watch this closely. It's not the greatest pattern at all. It's, you know, but it's a little tight little angle here, and it's oversold on the stochastics with the bearish momentum. And this is where BOOKMAP comes in. All right, we want to see the short squeezes. We want to see short squeeze orange juice, baby. Short squeeze orange juice. Show us the OJ. So look, heavy liquidations just occurred here on the long side. And look, these were the short lock liquidations that occurred here to the upside. I'll put this at 1,000. Maybe that's why we're not seeing them all. There we go. And so, yeah, massive short squeeze liquidation back above 20K. And that battle for 20K continues. Can 20K become the bottom for Bitcoin? There's a very good chance it could be. I'm open-minded, though. You never know. I'm open-minded, you know. I'll show you what I like and what I don't like right now. So the 15-minute, we did all this fun stuff, right? But we got rejected by 20,300. So to me, perfect place to begin a short to the downside, like, right? I mean, it just is what it is, you know. Let me freestyle now, right? I'm going to freestyle on another chart. I got to freestyle. We talked about 19,300. We hit all the targets yesterday too. Unbelievable. Shout out to anyone that jumped on in to those shorts. I like to delete everything. This is FTX USD chart. All right. So, I mean, the daily has the strong divergence. All right. Even right here, there's a divergence because that's strong. All right. And then there's a hidden bullish because this is a swing to the upside. You see this? And this swings to the downside. Nobody really knows they're hidden bullish on YouTube. They really don't. Or if they do, they don't talk about it enough. There's a few people that do, like, you know, like Gareth Soloway. A lot of people know, but I don't see them talking about it. That is textbook hidden bullish divergence. It really is. You know, and that is a falling wedge on the daily that breaks up 68% of the time. And you are oversold. Interesting. Hold on, that's weird. I'm going to reset this for a second here. Life revision mode SP, yeah. All right, I'm about to say, I was like, you see how the Stokes were like in the wrong place? I was like, whoa. I was about to have a nervous breakdown. So look, I mean, the idea was that we did break the pattern. I was trying to find the bigger pattern at play. It could be something like this. Do we go up and down here, you know? Continue to the downside. And then, or are we double bottoming? You know, the key is this could be the higher low on the daily. And honestly, that would be a really good place to load up. And that is a higher low, and there is divergence there. So it's interesting. It's interesting. It's very, very interesting. And that's divergence right now because that's a sharp swing down, and that isn't either, you know. So, and the daily does want to come back to the upside. Like it hasn't been this low in a while. 22 hours ready to rip, right? And the 22 hours been good to us. Right there, we had it was nil, but this one was a pump. This one was a pump. This one was a pump. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every time we bought below the dotted line, even here, at least a pump from 21,000 all the way back up to like 21,000, 22K. Like it wasn't amazing, but it wasn't like it was a loser. So every single one of these low stochastics has given us a bit of a move to the upside. You know what I mean? So, and I see another short squeeze approaching here at 20,230. $10,000 just got liquidated at 4 different accounts. So they don't learn. There's still more liquidity up at 20,750. Likely that the shorts might continue to attack the zone and it could push us up to this zone. We break 20,500. That's going to be a big deal for me. Okay, that's going to be a big deal for me. Let me freestyle the small zones now and just see what we're seeing. So we look at the big idea, and that's a big picture, and it gets you excited, right? Wow, Lifer said we're bullish on the daily. I just showed you we're bullish on the daily. I didn't say we are bullish. I showed you that there's that probability of bullishness is there. That's all I'm showing you. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm showing you the probability is there. But we did predict that this would probably bounce yesterday based on what? The bullish divergence. All right, we pointed this out, and it's like likely that's your bottom there, even though it doesn't feel like it emotionally. And that's the issue with divergence. Your body, mind, and soul, you'll feel sick inside. The market will feel horrible, and divergence will tell you to buy, and you'll be like, I can't though. Over time, you'll be able to beat through that idea, but that will take time. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. You'll have to figure out all this on your own, but you will. You will, okay? So here's the deal. We're in the channel. We're likely to head to the top of the channel, and then, like, who knows where, right? So do we short squeeze to 20,500 into the zone? Again, we still have resistance right here that we're likely to have trouble with. And so I'm not fully, like, in love with this idea, all right? Trying to see if I can make it a little sharper. So here's the deal. If you can't get a candle to close in the 4 hour above 20,350, continue to short the market, you know? So right now what I would do is I'm watching we're waiting for a short squeeze to 20,750, which could occur on BOOKMAP. So you kind of have to sit tight and watch BOOKMAP, in my humble opinion. And I wouldn't trade right now. You're watching BOOKMAP, and you want to see this liquidity get yoked all the way up to 20,500, 20,750 area. If that does clean out, if it doesn't and the rejection happens, you start to flag out here. To me, it's more likely you begin to build a short back to the bottom of the pattern because you didn't break this resistance, which is clear as day. So Bitcoin must break the resistance here at 20,000, 2,000, 20,300. If it can't get above 20,300, you can kiss this whole run goodbye. This was just a crazy short squeeze with really lack of volume. And it's just, it's a fake rally that just kind of gets some people excited for some whatever reason, and we're really not going anywhere. So we're looking for this flag to occur. If we fill out the flag, then because you're not supposed to know where price is going. So you'd be like, but Lifer, you always seem to predict it. Yes, by not knowing where it's going, you know where it's going. Does that make any sense? It's so weird. Or you take advantage of where it ends up going. By not telling yourself you know where it's going, you take advantage of where it ends up going by using the probabilities of your oscillators. All right. So there's two scenarios for me when you're this overbought on the stochastics. Either you get this crazy short squeeze, three scenarios, crazy short squeeze, which they're attempting to do right now at 20,250. You can see the bubble's going up, 15,000. They keep liquidating more shorts right now. And the buys are coming into the zone. They're nibbling. They're definitely nibbling into the 20,250, 20,300 area. So we want to watch that. Once that kind of calms on down, 7 minute will get so bent. See, 7 minute wants to pump on you. So 7 minute is about to show you a possible short squeeze occur right here. Watch. Because we trade the 7 minute so much, we know that this thing can pump. Now, most people just see the oversold 15 in 1 hour, and they're going against it. So it's likely we do hit the measured move here, 20,800, but that's going to be my big line in the sand. But again, if we get above 20,005, that'll be great. We got to get above this zone right here. See this? So let's watch the 7 minute. The 7 minute is going to be our guide today, and that's what it is. So today it's going to be one of those short squeeze 7 minutes. And remember, it's False Move Monday, of course, the 7 minute short squeeze. I remember this now last week. Do you remember? Same thing occurring. 7 minute short squeeze, and this is what we're starting to see here on BOOKMAP. So we're putting in the work, we're putting in the due diligence, and we're watching us get into the zone of liquidity. And you can see clear as day. This is a heat map. There's more heat up here than there is down here. It's like a fish finder. You go fishing where there's more fish. Okay. Bang, bang, bang. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. 807 people, 647 likes. Thank you for being here on the live stream. I greatly appreciate it. We're about to hit 1,000 people on the live stream. We're about to breach and bang through to the upside. Let me jump into the chat here. Super chats, Hex. We hit Hex. When you read Lifer's testimonials, you'll know you're in the right place. I want Mary Brown's big. You're funny. That's an old chat, right? From back in the day. I'm like behind. Like punting from opponent's 45-yard line. Most times it hits the end zone for the touchback. Once in a while, you pin the opponent inside the 10. Very rarely can you expect the opponent to run it back for a touchdown. I'm going to walk away for 2 minutes. Lady, oh my gosh. I was away from my trades and my take profit was barely missed. Still riding this short on mana for like a month now. not worried. Shout out to Cal the Ronster. Was thinking the sesame thing easier. Yes, if you don't know where it's going, you think of more areas where it could go. I don't know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. Exactly. I love it. Wow, 800 people watching. Shout out to Vidal Escobar. I just drew that 7-minute flag. So glad to see you draw the same. Your TA is amazing, boss. Shout out to Connect TV, man. I love you for coming on into the live stream. I mean, we're able to figure out where Bitcoin's going to go all the time. Like many, many days. Like, look, here's the pump. Starting to pump. This is going to be a short squeeze. And again, we must get above the resistance area here. And we're going to see it happen live. We may watch this. I mean, there's a high probability. Why? Well, I have a checklist that I give my students whenever they take a beginner's course. And in the checklist, I say, is the price in a bullish pattern? That's a bullish pattern. It's a falling wedge, you know, and it's basically like a little flag. So yes. Is the MACD turning bullish in a bullish way with the blue line curving up at the pink showing? Yes. Are the stochastics below the dotted line? Yes. Is the RSI in a bullish pattern close to oversold or at least below 50? Now, it's not close to oversold or at least below 50. But what it is in, it is in a bullish pattern, a bit of a falling wedge that it seemed to have broke out from. So I'm also seeing that. And then I'm getting falling volume with falling price, which tells me we should get a reversal because the sellers are falling to the downside. So, and we're touching the 21-day moving average, and I got a measured move. So, you know, I go over what I go over, and I trade this all the time, and many times this makes me look good. Like I find a trade like this and it pumps. So it's simple probability. I'm a simple man. I trade simply. All right. I don't try to reinvent the wheel. I don't try to, and then I use this amazing tool that the people at BOOKMAP gave me. They said, Lifer, we like you. We love your show. We think you're amazing. We think you could do really good if we gave you BOOKMAP. And so here's BOOKMAP, and I think BOOKMAP is amazing too. Jump on in anytime you want and watch my live stream. We're going to have BOOKMAP up. You even have, if you type in BOOKMAP, they have live tutorials every day. I have a tutorial on BOOKMAP that really blow your mind. If you want to know more about it, it's in my learning library. I have a Fibonacci tutorial, support and resistance tutorial. I talk about stochastics RSI in multiple time frames. We talk about divergences. So many things for you in the learning library to get you going and get you on your way. The beginner's course is just a way to encapsulate it quickly, give you a checklist and get you going fast and give you some homework. So jump on in. I can't wait to see you in my next course. 15K just got liquidated, 6 liquidations, Bitcoin battling the $20,200 area. And just because, you know, there's no guarantees anything is going to happen. We could get rejected here too and start to dump. Anything could happen. The bigger time frames are bearish. And unless you get, and I will tell you this, at the end of the day, I've been doing, and what I like too is I've been keeping it real simple. I don't know if you noticed, I always use the green zones, but lately we're really using them as identifiables. And what I mean by that is like just guaranteed areas that I want every newbies, everyone beginner, anyone who's watching my channel to really remember. Because people do a lot of TA and then people half remember what the person said. They're like in between. And I want people to stick with the point here. So the point of the story is this. If you can't see a candle close on the 4 hour above 20,300, expect more downside for Bitcoin. It's that simple. So if Bitcoin can't close a candle above 20,300, you must expect more downside. It's just that simple. All right. Now we're going to have some support here now at 20,000, you know, because we have this chunk and we got above it. So that must hold. This POC right here must hold. You see, at 20,000, and you, of course, you have a POC at 20,000. Psychological area of support and resistance, and it's sticking out. And this is the VRVP on my right, and it's showing me high volume areas of support and resistance. Right. Look, this also was a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder that broke to the upside. We talked about that at the beginning of the live stream. I even went over it on my update in the morning. You know, which is pretty crazy. All right. So the inverted head and shoulder broke out regardless of anything else too. So show me a pattern and I'll show you a move. And someone who's like, what is he saying? Well, look. And that's why I never, even when my patterns say we're overbought and I see a pattern that says we're going to bounce, I always point it out to my group. And I'm like, look, regardless, I mean, this says we're going to break out. And that's basically exactly where we went, which is insane. Look. Maybe a little bit of a wick up, you know, and you take that. How did I figure that out? Every pattern has what's called a measured move. This inverted head and shoulder has a measured move. Okay. You take your measured move from the top of the dotted line to the middle of the headline here, and then you swing it to your neckline. Honestly, look, that was pretty much it right there. I think I took it down a little bit. There it is. I mean, but You're going to be really spot on if you stick to your measured moves over and over again, you know. So look, we're getting rejected now, but we're still oversold in the 7-minute. We'll see how this plays out in the long run, you know. And honestly, we could even be still in the pattern because look, could be making something like this now, you know, some type of symmetrical tight channel here. And again, same thing. Now this has a different way of getting the measured move. You take the length of this pole. And that's kind of what you're doing there, okay? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for sharing your most precious asset with me. And look, I told you about the 77s. Look, 777s, 177. You saw it. It slipped to 8, but that was insane, right? It only happens here on the live. The numbers are following me around. The 333s, the 777. So you're going to watch this flag on the 7. If you get above this local support at 20,386, you can begin to grow and make a move past, you know, into that zone at 20,500, right? Again, 20,800 is going to be my line in the sand, this notch up here. If we can't get above that, you can kiss this whole move goodbye. Also, that would take us to the top of the channel, which where we were likely to go, which is 20,374. So we don't even really need to get that high to hit the top here where we were likely to come back to the downside. We're watching the flag that I just drew here on the 7. And that's really, you know, and that flag either breaks out to the upside or you start seeing some problems. The 7-minute tells you what's going to happen pretty fast. So you get channeled the information. That's why I like the 7-minute. I trap it. I look for my support and resistance. I give it its parameters, and then it's going to have to give me an answer pretty fast. Once it gives me that answer, it gives me a high probability of the bigger time frames playing out. So that's why smaller time frames work, and that's how they work. And I hope you kind of get the gist of what I'm saying here on the live, okay? So look, we got over the Dow. Now we want to look at the total market cap of all of cryptocurrency. All right, very, very important that we're looking at this and the levels that we want to stay away from. So here, if you've been with me, we go over this every day and we talk about it because it's so important. Now we did move up in the 4-hour. That's great. We pushed up to the 4-hour. We got overbought area. We still have some momentum though. Stochastics did move up. The RSI did move up. We did have strong bullish divergence on the 4-hour, which suggested that we would get at least some type of a move. However, in a downtrend, bullish divergence plays out, but usually doesn't get you above the secondary resistance. So it might get you above here, but it usually doesn't get you, you know, you don't really get the huge push. However, there's still momentum, and it's not over yet. And this is a falling wedge that breaks up 68% of the time. But take a look at the 1-hour time frame, and you're getting spent as well. So you're in the same place here for Bitcoin, kind of an ugly channel. You did break out. So what you're looking for is, do we bounce? You know, do we go lower? What is going on? We have the smaller channel at bay here too. I didn't really notice this. Like, are we going to bounce off this to the upside? So total market cap now has broken $1 trillion. We talked about that. We have heavy resistance at 1.02. I talked about, could we bounce here? We hit 971. We fell. We came to my next zone of liquidity, 951. We fell below that. We hit my next area. Why were these significant? Because look, we bounced here, we bounced here. So I went deep and I spent time marking my zones. And look, it's amazing. Of all the things that I've ever charted in my life, total market caps and bigger market caps, specifically the total market cap of crypto, does an amazing job. Look, it should stop right there. It stops right there. It should bounce right there. It should bounce right there. It should get rejected right there. It gets like it nails the support and resistance to a T. All right. So look, this will come off in a second and we'll show you. So where are we going now? Well, we do have the divergence, which usually gives you at least a bounce. So maybe, you know, there's a chance that we do bounce, just like we bounced here. Fake one came down. So look, I see a bit of a fractal here that could play out. And it's looking like this is something that we're seeing. You go to bars pattern and grab the fractal. And see, it's kind of like this. We have the swing, we're going to come up and get rejected, but not go as low as that and then continue up. And then that would be like the rejection of the top. And maybe we don't even go that high. Maybe we just hit this and get rejected. But this is something that's very, very possible. And Bitcoin ends up back in a flag around, you know, or the market cap ends up back in a flag down to $872 billion, right? So we're at a tough area because look, this is a big zone of liquidity that we've had issues with before. And we just broke a POC node, and usually you're going to come, so you're likely to head down here into this area. Because, you know, and then probably to test 50 billion. You lose 850 billion, it's going to change everything. So that's going to be like, wow, you know, it's almost like Bitcoin has to double bottom at this like 18, 17K region, or we're going to see some major pain in this market. You know, how bad can we bleed this weekly down before the weekly really spreads us thin is the question. So we're looking for a double bottom for Bitcoin hitting this $842 billion region. And that's what we're looking for. We did break the POC. When you break a POC, you're likely to head down to the bottom of the next lower node, the lowest node on the zone. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did it, but we're going to take it one step at a time. All right. Wow, the internet's good here because I'm like revving it up and doing well, and it's been handling it. All right. So we know exactly where Bitcoin's going. We got it tracked. We're watching the 7. You know, we know the bigger time frames. We know the areas to watch. We know numbers. Total market cap. We don't want to see it go any lower than this $922 billion. All right. We start seeing lower than 900 billion, then that's our next like holding point. We break that, you're looking for the drop at 876. You break that, you're looking at 844, and then I'll take you from there. Okay. So can we bounce on this divergence? Is it strong enough? You know, right now the 1 hour is a little overbought and we're really not getting enough love. So, but that's okay. Just like we showed you in the fractal, we could come back down as long as we make a higher low than this low and continue to move up. So I am expecting a pullback on the day for the overall market. Somewhere into the areas of 930 billion, maybe 220 billion gets knocked out, 20 million gets knocked out of the market for the day. But can we bounce back up off my zone, off of this other trend line too as well? So we'll be looking for this area to bounce. It's going to be crucial. We fall through there, sure, it's going to be abundant. All right. And we'll know. And so we want this to reset and kind of reclaim the move. So that's the total market cap of all of cryptocurrency. Then you have total 3, which is all of the altcoins excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. All right. So it's like, are they in trouble? What's happening? And we talked about our areas that we must hold. And so when we fell, I said 395. We broke that. It's 389. We broke both of those. Now, look, this is sad, but we have resistance for the altcoins at $380 billion. So now you have resistance 382. And that's going to be like a hard-notched area, right? You do have the strong divergence yet again. See this divergence that's been showing up here. But again, in really bearish times, you have good divergence and you'll get a move. But the move just won't be able to break you back above resistance. So right now we're stuck at 382 and we're likely to come back down for now. Now, it's not the end of the world. We're gonna project what I was projecting before, and that's just gonna be an inverted head and shoulder, right? So we'll watch this closely for you too as well, and we'll keep you updated to the total market cap of all of the altcoins. We do not want to see us go any lower than this bottom here at $371 billion, right? Then we're gonna start contending with the lower low areas and coming back down to 350 billion, right? Again, not the worst in the world, but these are areas that are, and then we're gonna have heavy resistance as well, all right? So that's really everything we could go over on the day. You know what I mean? We could slap gold in there too one more time. I haven't looked at gold in a while. 1741. Let's take a look at gold in the daily time frame. I used to look at gold every night, every morning. So gold could be making this beautiful bull pennant. We talked about it. Gold also made a bit of divergence here. Swing down to swing down. It's all right. The daily does want to bounce us back to the top of the pattern. Looks like gold could get a move back up to about 1921. Honestly, could take 2 to 3 weeks though. But gold actually looking somewhat bullish. We look at gold on the weekly time frame, and it actually is a little more bullish than Bitcoin, but it is got a bearish test to the downside. We look at it on the 2 week, and the 2 week wants to push up just like Bitcoin. So if we can get through this minutia of the smaller time frames, the 2 week for Bitcoin and gold both want to make a move. But look, that is also a double top M pattern. Is that not? Interesting. Could take you back to the moving averages, and your moving averages are far apart, telling me, wow, gold actually might retrace here. And wow, look, it's in this bigger pattern now. So yeah, looking for gold to come back down to the bottom of this pattern before it goes up even more. Strange. Pullback for gold, possibly. 1,500 though? Wow. Well, it must keep the zone above here. I haven't looked at gold in a long time. Taking me a little off guard. But dude, I do, yeah, interesting. 4 hours bullish for gold today, though. And you're making a higher high, so let's see if you can get to the top of the channel. 1941, and we'll go from there for gold. My call for gold, prediction for gold. 4 hour wants to pump, but so like 4 hour pumps, that's great. But if you don't get a 4 hour or daily candle closing above 1859, it's likely to head lower to that $1,600 region. All right. Okay, ETH will follow Bitcoin and Dapper. Can we check ETH? Anyone say he is handsome today and Dapper? Thank you so much, Laura. I appreciate that. Wow, 800 people watching on the live. Yeah, did we go over the NASDAQ? Love your content, bro. By the way, are you wearing shorts with the suit? You'll never know, Cyber Monkey. You'll never know. That's what I get to know, and that's what you'll never know. You know what I mean? What do you think? If I am, what color shorts am I wearing is the question. Am I allowed to wear shorts with the suit is the question. You know what I mean? So we looked at the dollar index. We know our levels we need to watch. You should mark that. If you have any questions about anything today, it's all timestamped. You can go back and check out the timestamp and really get down and find out what's going on. I highly suggest you do that. That'll change the game. You know. BLZ or EOS, please. Lifer, you're the best. Any time for you. Antoine David. You know what? We made $170 in super chats. Antoine, we love you. What are you asking about, Antoine? He said BLZ or EOS. We'll take a look at both of those. BLZ's been interesting on the radar. And look, the hot coins are here for today. Huobi token ApeCoin up 4% in 24 hours. Litecoin getting a little bit of love, you know. Lido DAO still up in there. Theta Network. I like Theta as a long-term hold. I believe Theta can 20x in the next 4 to 5 years easily. Your explanations of what you see in the charts are very clear and easy to understand. Thanks for the info so far. Anytime, man. Super chats for EOS. Is it time I cash out of Lunacy? I'm up like $80, maybe. You should do whatever makes you happy, but that's pretty good. Thank you so much for your positive energy. It makes my morning start off right. I love you. Thank you. Shorts are red as is tradition. Yes, he is, and they are tan. I'm bullish on the car wash. So sweet. No, I'm wearing what if I wasn't wearing any? Nah, we can't even. I can't go there. That's disrespectful. We can't go there, you know. Look at ETH, please. Thank you. Much love. How did you synchronize all the split screens in the charts before? You were showing Bitcoin USD dominance. They'll just synchronize by themselves if you split. Yeah, that happens on its own. No problem. Yeah, you got no worries. Spandex, all spandex. Are you wearing spandex? Remember that? Spandex, all spandex. What movie was that? It's time to go? All right, everyone, I got to go take my wife. Wow. Don't get too excited, Laura. What? Don't make me backhand you. I love getting in trouble. It reminds me of when I was a kid, you know? I'm serious, because we're not going to get to each. All right, she kicks me off the stream every time, guys. You know, you can blame her for my lack of retention. No, I'm just joking around. We went over a lot today. We did. And I posted some trades that I liked this morning, too, and things that I'm looking at. My man wanted EOS, though. And he was such a nice guy. You know, and so I wanna look at EOS real fast. So EOS was in this falling wedge, still in the falling wedge. A little more extended than it was before, you know. Impulse to .5 Fibonacci, already kind of retraced a few times. We take a similar smaller one. It's in the golden pocket in a way. We take a mini fib. Interesting enough. Good pullback with movement on the 4 hour, but it's all about that daily. Daily's oversold as well. And there's a falling wedge right there. Huh. I mean, everything's in these like funky megaphone patterns with the falling wedge. See, like, not my favorite zones, but we are retesting the previous resistance. See this? Resistance, 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 and there's your bounce right there. Who's closed? They're closed now?
They're closed, but there's another place 25 minutes away that's worth going to because it has 2,000 really good reviews.
All right.
So we gotta go right now. I don't want you to miss that one.
My life never stops, man. I never get a moment. I never get a moment to breathe. I never get a moment to breathe. My wife never gives me a moment.
Oh, poor Sam.
Where is my moment in time
Poor baby Sam.
for me? When do I get to be me? When do I get to be me?
All right, I'll forget it. I'm leaving without you.
You hear this, right? 2K good reviews, man. You gotta go. You guys are. Please look at the link streaming on TikTok as well. They will start monetizing content creators that live stream and hold an audience soonish. Everybody, check us on TikTok. Check us everywhere. Follow me on Instagram, everyone. We got an Instagram, The Real Cryptolifer at Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at The Real Cryptolifer. Okay? I'll be posting updates every single day. Awesome, fun ideas. Follow me at The Real Cryptolifer. Hello?
That's me.
Oh, wow. You're giving me like anxiety. You know that, right? Like extreme.
Yes, I know.
I'm like really like you're messing me up bad.
Aw.
Yeah, like I'm going to have to go to therapy over all this.
Be careful.
I'm damaged right now. What do you mean? Be careful. What do you mean? I need to be careful? I need to be Yo, you see how treacherous this lady is? It's scary, man. Like, they're afraid of you. People are afraid of you on the live stream. They're worried about me and my situation.
If they've been watching your show, they know that.
They're like, is he all right in there? Like,
If they've been
do we need to
watching
come
your
get
show-
him?
if
Do we
they've
need to
been
go in there and get him?
watching your
Like,
show, they know that you're not really genuinely afraid of anyone in the world. So
oh. Bro, peaceful is a warning sign. It's a stop loss. Don't mess with it. Maybe the whole pan. Who wears the trousers? That's love. We got your back, BB. Who's the boss again? You guys are fun. Yeah. Who's the boss? Episode 17, you know. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. I love you all. I'm going to jump out. I'm just joining your class Wednesday. What do you recommend study then, Lifer? I go to TradingView and just, you know, MACD, RSI, stochastics. But honestly, just come open-minded, man, and be ready. Just have TradingView ready, you know what I'm saying? And use the MACD, the RSI, stochastics RSI. But really, just come open-minded, ready to go. I'll teach you what you need to know. Okay? Boom. Lifer, blink 3 times if you are chained to the desk. It's so funny. That's hilarious. Cloud, yo, you're hilarious, bro. That's really funny, man. I like your style. Yo, you're hilarious. You people are great. Everybody, I got to go. I'll be back. I'll leave a Bitcoin update. Remember, for Bitcoin, what are we doing, everyone? What are we doing together here? Over here. Over here. And I think I was on Binance USD on FTX. I think that's where I left it at, which is weird. I never do that, but hey, we're watching Bitcoin and we're seeing if it can stay above 20,300 area. Super important that the 4-hour candle does close. However, it's likely we just make a flag and we get rejected. We were watching the 7-minute to see if the 7-minute could break us out and do some serious damage. So far, it's beginning to do exactly what we said it would do. And because the low stochastics are pointing up and it's pushing to the upside. We also gave you BOOKMAP and we're looking for the short squeeze. And look, 21,000 and the short squeeze is occurring. We also showed you there was more liquidity up at 20,006, 20,007 than there was down here. There's really nothing down here. So it's likely we head to the upside. All right. $20,700. Interesting. Anyway, so I'm going to see this 7 minutes going to continue to pump. Let's see if we can get a candle to close on the 4-hour above 20,500. That is the key area. All right. We'll get a pump in the 7 and we'll see where the dust lies after that. You want to watch this very closely for Bitcoin. Well, we did call this pump before it happened. We were one of the first people to show you this flag and begin it as we began to show you because I'm a stochastics trader and I trust my stochastics more than anything else. And when they're low, I'm telling you right now, there's likelihoods of a pump, like 80 to 90% accurate indicator in my humble opinion. Are you on Infinite Crypto Show today, Sam? You better go help out with Wifer. About to go boss on you. I know, I got to bounce. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications where you can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. Crypto is life. I love you all. Have a great day. Be safe. Don't do what I wouldn't do.